Hey, what's up? It's the kid 50 Cent. Celebrate my birthday, and I'm giving you gifts. You could go stream 50 Cent action for free on Pluto TV now. What better way to celebrate the day than to stream 50 Cent action?
Diddy never made it into his Netflix documentary. He says the reason wasn't that the stories were unimportant. In fact, the opposite is true. There was simply too much content to fit into 4 episodes. This revelation has left fans wondering what was left out and why the audience never got to see it. One of the biggest claims revolves around a secret child that Diddy allegedly had with a woman who was once involved with Tupac Shakur. Although this story didn't appear in the documentary, 50 Cent hinted that the footage exists and could eventually be shared online. Instead of saving it for another season, he suggested YouTube might be the platform where the public finally sees these hidden stories. Since the documentary was released, more people have come forward with their own experiences, adding even more layers to a story that already feels unfinished. Fans are now debating 50 Cent's motives. Some believe he is exposing truths the public deserves to know, while others think he is keeping himself in the spotlight. While some critics call it petty behavior, others argue there's a deeper, more personal reason behind his revelations. Comedian TK Kirkland has offered his perspective, explaining that the tension between 50 Cent and Diddy goes beyond music or business. According to TK, it became personal when Diddy allegedly got involved with 50 Cent's baby mother. In his eyes, this isn't just drama between industry rivals, it's a serious betrayal. TK Kirkland explained that some rules shouldn't be broken, especially when it comes to respecting other men. In his own life, he has never dated a woman who had a past with a friend or rival. To him, that's off limits. He pointed out that Diddy has fame, wealth, and access to countless women, which makes the alleged decision even harder to justify. TK believes this was a conscious choice, not an accident, because Diddy knew about the ongoing tension between him and 50 Cent. According to TK, knowingly pursuing a rival's former partner shows a lack of respect. Boundaries matter, and real men understand them without explanation. He also highlighted a pattern, claiming Diddy has been involved in similar situations in the past, with women linked to other men in the industry. Over the years, names like Tupac's former girlfriend have come up repeatedly. These claims suggest that the situation with 50 Cent's baby mother fits into a larger, recurring pattern rather than being a one-time mistake. While 50 Cent's documentary was praised for shining light on difficult topics, not everyone agrees it was complete or fair. Gene Deal, who has close ties to the people involved, criticized the project publicly. He claims that some of his ideas were used without proper credit. Gene explained that he had shared detailed plans with the producers long before the documentary aired. Gene also doubts that footage was cut purely due to time restrictions. He argues that documentaries can always be expanded, extended, or split into additional episodes. In his view, some stories were left out intentionally, including accounts involving Sarah Chapman, who has been linked to both Diddy and Tupac. He believes these omissions raise serious questions about what viewers were allowed to see. Gene also shared past frustrations, saying that ideas he had contributed to other projects were later used without acknowledgement. This pattern, he claims, left him feeling disrespected, and he sees a similar issue in this documentary. He addressed rumors that 50 Cent might release more footage online, saying that if it does happen, Diddy likely won't be able to stop it. His reasoning is straightforward. If Netflix or the producers could legally block the documentary, it would have already been done. The fact that it wasn't blocked suggests that Diddy's influence behind the scenes may not be as strong as it once was. Another subject that keeps coming up is Diddy's alleged obsession with Tupac. Many insiders say this fixation shaped some of Diddy's decisions over the years. Gene Deal mentioned unreleased footage involving Sarah Chapman, who previously dated Tupac. Some believe Diddy's involvement with her wasn't random, but tied to deeper feelings about Tupac. Rumors suggest that Diddy admired Tupac while also feeling a sense of jealousy toward him. Some say he wanted the same respect, influence, and cultural impact that Tupac had. Others believe he wanted to take Tupac's place in the hip-hop world. Observers point to similarities between Tupac's speeches and some of Diddy's later public statements, particularly about social change, as evidence. While this doesn't prove anything, it fuels ongoing speculation. One of the most glaring gaps in the documentary is the minimal focus on Kim Porter. She was Diddy's longtime partner and the mother of his children, who passed away suddenly in 2018 at the age of 47. Although her death was officially attributed to pneumonia, many still question her life, her role, and her relationship with Diddy. The documentary barely mentions her beyond basic facts. Several sources claim Kim knew more about Diddy's personal and business life than almost anyone else. Gene Deal stated that she was aware of behind-the-scenes happenings and may have been planning a book that would reveal intimate details of her life, her struggles in the music industry, and her relationship with Diddy. Reports suggest she shared parts of this book with close friends before her death. Some say it was meant to be a tell-all, while others claimed it focused on fear, control, and unhealthy dynamics. None of this was explored in the documentary, leaving viewers with more questions than answers. Mark Curry later shared a story claiming that Diddy closely monitored Kim's phone calls. According to him, Diddy became furious after overhearing a conversation between Kim and another man, which allegedly led to a confrontation at a party. While these remain unverified claims, they contribute to the broader narrative. There are also rumors of physical abuse in Diddy and Kim's relationship. Some accounts describe injuries that were explained away as accidents. Critics argue these explanations don't match what some eyewitnesses claim. Again, these remain allegations, but they continue circulating due to a lack of clear answers. Documentary also barely touches on Diddy's legendary parties, which were known for attracting celebrities, athletes, and powerful figures in the industry. Many believe these events played a key role in his influence, yet details were scarce, raising questions about why so many high-profile attendees have remained silent. Some critics go further, suggesting accountability is needed from celebrities who were present at these gatherings. Names like Jay-Z, Jennifer Lopez, and others have been mentioned as people who may have stayed quiet. These opinions are not verified facts, but they highlight public frustration with incomplete storytelling. Jaguar Wright has also shared her perspective, focusing on Diddy's childhood. She claims his early environment exposed him to chaos, instability, and behaviors no child should witness. According to her, this upbringing shaped his views on power, control, and relationships later in life. Jaguar also discussed Diddy's pride in his father's reputation as a hustler, which she finds concerning. She believes this shaped his sense of self and contributed to his worldview, and she links this mindset to the way hip-hop culture later celebrated similar figures. She also described what she considers an unusual relationship between Diddy and his mother, raising questions about boundaries and family dynamics. These are her personal observations, but they add another dimension to understanding his behavior. Concerns have been raised about Diddy's children, as some sources claim they witnessed situations no child should experience. Others question why adults around them did not intervene. These concerns emphasize issues of responsibility and accountability. As the story unfolds, many are left wondering what will happen next. If 50 Cent releases additional footage, it could change public perception. Others think the truth will remain fragmented, pieced together through interviews and rumors, rather than one complete story. What is clear is that this saga is far from over. Every new voice adds more questions. Whether more footage appears or not, the discussion around power, secrecy, and truth continues to grow. The public waits to see if hidden stories will finally surface or remain buried. More people are speaking out now, possibly because they feel safer. In the past, fear and influence kept many voices quiet. Silence didn't erase what happened, it just delayed the moment the truth could come out. The accusations are not from one source, but from multiple former friends, employees, insiders, and artists. Each person contributes a piece of the puzzle. No single account tells the full story, but together they show patterns that are difficult to ignore. Many feel the documentary only touched the surface. Some believe the omissions were intentional, including certain stories could have forced responses and accountability. The documentary may have chosen to highlight some issues while avoiding others. Kim Porter's story remains one of the biggest mysteries. She carried secrets and emotional weight that the public may never fully understand. Protecting her children may have kept her silent, but her absence leaves questions that continue to spark speculation. Control appears repeatedly in these accounts. Control over relationships, business, and information. Some say Diddy needed to know everything going on around him. This created an environment of fear rather than trust. Former artists say they often felt trapped in contracts or promises they didn't fully understand. Careers rose or fell based on loyalty, not talent. Power was often used as leverage, not guidance. Celebrities who stayed close have gone quiet, removing photos, avoiding interviews, or refusing to comment. Critics see this as self-protection. Supporters see it as avoiding drama. Either way, the silence fuels curiosity. Money and influence shape narratives. Controlling media, legal teams, and PR allows people to manage stories for years. That doesn't make accusations true or false, but it controls what the public sees. When cracks appear, they tend to surface all at once. Many insiders believe Diddy may have lost some of his influence, which is why new information could come out. If his power remained the same, some releases would have been blocked. The fact that they weren't shows a shift in control. Tupac's legacy continues to appear in conversations. He symbolizes truth, rebellion, and voice. The idea that someone admired yet competed with him creates tension. Some believe Diddy wanted acceptance in the same culture. Others see it as a desire for validation. Ambition sometimes becomes obsession. Jaguar Wright's perspective divides opinion. Some praise her courage, others question her tone. She emphasizes understanding where behavior starts, not just how it ends. Trauma repeats itself because it feels familiar. Understanding doesn't excuse it, but explains it. Children being exposed to adult situations is another concern. Boundaries matter, and crossing them has lasting effects. Some associates regret not speaking sooner. Others didn't realize the impact until later. People are rarely purely villains or heroes. Most navigate complex situations. Each new voice adds layers. Allegations force audiences to decide what they believe. The truth may never be fully known, but conversations have already changed how the public views power in music. More footage could confirm suspicions or raise new questions. Public discussion is no longer controlled by one person, it's shaped by many. This isn't just about one figure. It's about systems that reward silence, loyalty, and protect influence. It's about how long power lasts before accountability arrives. Whether the industry learns or repeats the same mistakes remains to be seen. The story is still unfolding, and the full truth remains just out of reach. As the story continues, speculation about Diddy's personal life keeps growing. Many are now questioning the patterns of behavior that seem to repeat throughout his career. From business decisions to relationships, people close to the situation say Diddy has always been calculated, often ensuring he is in control of every scenario. Some insiders argue that this need for control has influenced everything around him, from the way parties were organized to how artists were managed. Observers point out that Diddy's influence extended far beyond music. His network included powerful figures from sports, entertainment, and business. Being at the center of so many spheres meant that people often had to navigate carefully around him, fearing that any misstep could lead to professional or personal consequences. This created an environment where silence often seemed safer than speaking out. Yet in recent years, that control appears to have weakened. The release of the documentary and the ongoing commentary from 50 Cent, Gene Deal, and others suggest a shift. People now feel emboldened to share stories that were once kept behind closed doors. Each new account, whether about relationships, parties, or business dealings, adds complexity to the picture, making it harder to dismiss patterns as coincidence. One recurring theme in these discussions is the blurred line between admiration and competition. Many believe Diddy's fascination with Tupac shaped key decisions in his life. While Tupac represented authenticity and influence, Diddy's actions sometimes seemed aimed at positioning himself within that same cultural sphere. Observers note that this may explain why Diddy repeatedly became involved with women connected to figures he admired or envied. Critics argue that this dynamic is not just about personal relationships, but also about power and symbolism. For instance, being linked to someone connected to Tupac could have boosted Diddy's cultural capital, aligning him symbolically with a figure of immense influence. While this is speculative, insiders say the pattern is consistent enough to suggest it is deliberate rather than coincidental. Another area that continues to raise questions is Kim Porter's role in all of this. Beyond her personal relationship with Diddy, she was reportedly a key observer of the inner workings of his empire. Multiple sources indicate she had access to sensitive information and may have even kept records of events or behaviors that others could not witness. Her apparent absence in the documentary leaves viewers questioning what was omitted and why. Some insiders suggest that Kim Porter's discretion was intentional. She may have chosen to remain silent to protect her children, maintain privacy, or avoid public controversy. Yet this silence only amplifies curiosity. Fans and critics alike wonder how much she knew and how her perspective might have altered public understanding if it had been included. Stories from former associates paint a picture of a controlled and high-stakes environment. People describe situations where questioning authority or breaking unspoken rules could lead to conflict or even career setbacks. Contracts, agreements, and informal power structures were often used to ensure loyalty. Some individuals later expressed regret for remaining silent, admitting that fear or respect for Diddy kept them from speaking out sooner. The issue of accountability has become central to the ongoing discussion. Many believe that the culture surrounding Diddy allowed questionable behavior to continue unchecked. Some argue that celebrities and insiders who participated in or witnessed events bear responsibility, especially when silence equated to complicity. While legal or criminal accountability may not apply in all cases, moral and social responsibility is widely debated. Another layer of concern is the potential impact on children. Multiple sources claim that Diddy's children were exposed to adult situations they should not have witnessed. Critics argue that this environment could have long-lasting effects on their development and understanding of healthy relationships. Others point to the importance of responsible adults in these settings, questioning why so many bystanders reportedly remained silent. Despite these allegations and concerns, it is important to recognize that many of these claims remain unverified. While eyewitness accounts and insider testimonies are compelling, they represent only one side of a complex story. Public opinion is divided, and fans often interpret these accounts through their own biases, loyalties, or knowledge of the industry. The documentary itself remains a focal point. By presenting only certain stories and leaving others out, it highlights the challenge of balancing transparency with discretion. Critics like Gene Deal argue that omissions were deliberate, while others see it as of practical editing constraints. Either way, the gaps have fueled speculation and further discussion, ensuring the story remains alive in public conversation. As this saga continues, one thing becomes clear: the narrative is far from complete. Every new interview, social media post, or commentary adds layers that both clarify and complicate the picture. People are piecing together events from multiple perspectives, trying to understand motives, consequences, and patterns of behavior. The role of social media cannot be ignored. Platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok have provided space for stories to emerge that might have been suppressed in traditional media. 50 Cent's hints about releasing unreleased footage online demonstrate the power of these platforms to bypass traditional gatekeepers. Viewers now have direct access to content that can reshape perceptions and spark public debate. Public interest in these stories also reflects broader questions about celebrity culture. People are fascinated not just by the personalities involved, but by the systems and environments that allow certain behaviors to flourish. Observing how power, influence, and secrecy intersect in high-profile circles offers insight into both the allure and the dangers of fame. Another recurring topic is loyalty. Many insiders describe environments where loyalty was demanded, rewarded, and sometimes enforced through pressure or intimidation. This culture often blurred the lines between friendship, professional obligation, and fear. Critics suggest that this dynamic contributed to silence and the perpetuation of behaviors that might otherwise have been challenged. The pattern of repetition in relationships, career moves, and decision-making has drawn particular attention. Analysts and insiders point out that certain choices Diddy made seem to follow predictable patterns, whether in pursuit of women connected to rivals, replicating Tupac-inspired rhetoric, or asserting dominance in business dealings. Understanding these patterns may help explain why certain events unfolded the way they did. Finally, the human aspect of this story cannot be overlooked. Behind the allegations and speculation,